Good afternoon, my good friends. It's the time of Dhamma teaching from 2:30 to 3:30. And today, this lecture is the last time for this batch. Last time. So I will try to finish my teaching that I opened from yesterday. That's about Four Noble Truths and problems that I try to clarify about the problems in many dimensions or many aspects of problems when you look at the problems. And now today I will say something to you to see. The first word, when you say about human, that means problem. If you say human, you will say problem. More humans, more problems. Less human, less problem. One human, one problem. No human, no problem. Are you human? If you're human, you are a problem. Where is human come from? Humans come from nature. Nature, that's the big word. Nature means everything. And then because of ignorance creates human. We will think that we are human because of our ignorance. But in fact, this only natural phenomena. When we think that we are human, so we have problems. Natural phenomena, ignorance, humans, and when you are a human, you have a problem. When you have a problem, you find a way how to solve the problem. In many ways. By education, by religion, by social institutions, you know that, social institutions, by culture, by customs, many things. And we conclude in socialized process. Socialized process. That means so many means in society to shape the man, to shape the human, to get away from the problems. So education and research. So you have to study, you have to learn. What is the problem? You have to do your research to find out the answer. When you do the research, they will start it with problems. Who has been through master degree in university? Who have been through? Yeah? When you do master degree in university, did you do the research? You have to do the thesis. Yeah, thesis. Thesis is a kind of research. And when you do research, it starts with the problem. You have statement of the problem, you see that? What is the problem? The problem is the result or the effect from the cause. So you have to see the effect first or the result that happened to you. The result or the problems in front of you. You see. So Lord Buddha say in Noble Truths, he started from problem also. Problems or suffering, that's the problem. They call in Pali, they call dukkha. Dukkha. The dukkha come from where? Come from the cause. Dukkha is the effect. Yeah, you see that? The dukkha come from where? Come from the ignorance. Ignorance is the cause. And dukkha is the effect. So cause and effect. See that? So, when we do the research, we do the problems, put the problem on there, and then we look back. What is the cause? Why this problem happened? So, we have to do the statement of the problem. The statement of the problems. We have to look back the background of the problems, you see that? If you do the research or you do the thesis, you have to do that. You have to do the state of problems. You have to do the background of the problem. Why this problem comes? Where is the problem? Create this problem. Where this problem come from? See that? So, when you do the research for what? To find the answer. Right? The problems that you have the questions. Problem is a question. And the result of the research is answer. So, when you have Q, you have A. So, they call Q and A. Did you hear about that? Q and A, question and problem. But if problems, not A. If you have problems, you should have solution. Problems and solution. Okay? This is the way that people try. So all universities, they do the research and they started with the problems. If you don't have problems, the graduate students at the level of master degree and PhD degree, they will have problems because they don't have problems. You understand that? They have problems because they don't have problems. When you do the research, you have to put the problem on there, but you don't have problems. So you have problems. You got what I mean? Do you know? Can you explain to them? They have problems because they don't have problems.
You need to have a research question.
Yeah, right.
And so if you don't have a research question or problem, then you have problems.
You have problems that you cannot finish your degree. You see that? You understand that? Bruno? You have problems because you don't have problems. That's amazing. You don't have problems, but you have problems, you see. Then, now, I would like to see that natural phenomena, ignorance, create human, and then natural phenomena, ignorance, create humans. Human have to find a way to do education and research. When you do education and research, if at good education and real education, you have to find the answer. The answer that you will know that you have knowledge. That the answer have to explain about natural phenomena. And when you explain about natural phenomena in academic way, from Cambridge and Oxford, that's very old university in London. You know that university, very old one. And in Cromwell, you know Cromwell, in Cromwell period in England, that they have problem because Cromwell period ruled the British or ruled the England, and then Cromwell forced the professor in Cambridge and Oxford. So the cream of professor from Oxford and Cambridge, they make decision leave England. They get in the sunflowers boat. Sunflowers, that's the name of the boat. And then they run from England to America. And they establish what? Harvard University. You know that? The Harvard University, that's very, very well known of the world because have made so many presidents of America. Many presidents graduate from Harvard. You know that. Like Jimmy Carter, who else? That's the one that's really big rumor about I have not have sex relation with that woman. You know that. You're laughing. You know that man. That's from Harvard also. So Harvard very strong because the top cream of the professor from Cambridge and Oxford to founded the Harvard University. You know that? If you want to know, when they have that university, they have the conflict about cow and town. You know cow? T-O-W-N. Cow. You know cow? Cow is long shirt. Cow.
One more time.
Cow. Cow and town. You know town? Town is a city.
Oh,
Town. Round and town. That they have conflict in Harvard. Because when you founded Harvard University, and then the people will build the shopping center, the building around Harvard. You see that? So that they have the city of Harvard come from university first. You know that. Like in Thailand, when the monk set the mobile house like this somewhere, and then the villagers will come around the monk, and then they build the house around the monk. So the monk at the middle. So like Harvard founded there, and then the people will build the commercial center and the building and the house for the students to stay around. They have the house of university also. Have you been to Harvard? Okay, this I mentioned about it. I would like to come back to Oxford and Cambridge. In Oxford and Cambridge, that they have about three main subjects that you have to study. Three main subjects that you study in university. Why you call subject? The subject just means you explain about the natural phenomena. What do you see in nature, and then you explain. And the first subject, the first group of that subject are academics, you know, that they call natural science. Natural science, you know science? Yeah, natural science. Composed of three main subjects. What's that? Natural science. Number one, physics. Number two, chemistry. Number three, biology. That's three main subjects. And after that, each main subject is going maybe thousands of subjects. You know, even biology, it comes to what? The small biology, you call what? Microbiology. So many biologies. You see? I try to explain to you like this because I would like you go back to the tree. You have to start from the tree, and then you climb up to the branch of the tree, going up. So many subjects, but come from only one tree. What is that tree? Natural phenomena. Only nature. You see, this come up with chemical, physics, and biology. You know that? In physics, you divide it in many, you know. Like what? In physics, It's about pardon? So many physics. Until last one that we have what kind of physics that are really that they got the Nobel Prize? Quantum, you see, quantum physics. And when you talk about quantum physics, that come back to nature again. Everything, you know, it's explain all things about quantum physics. You know that. That's academics. You know, that come from natural phenomena only. It's going up, up, up. Okay. So when we talk about natural science, that means you have to explain about what? Natural phenomena in terms of natural science. That you have to explain about the law of cause and effect. Why this cause and what happened after you have this cause. Like in chemistry, if you put these elements with these elements, what happened? You see, you have to test in your laboratory. You see that? That's the cause of effect. You know that. When you get the answer, you have to explain what is the answer. That's a kind of research in the laboratory. You know that. That's in natural science. And the second group we call social science. Social science. So in society we call science also. Science, it just means that the law of cause and effect. You can explain. You can prove. See that? What are they? How many subjects in social science? The first subject is what? Political science. When the humans live together, they need to arrange. You see that? So you have to go back to see what? The Republic. Did you read that book? The Republic. Who wrote this book? Plato. You know Plato? Some people pronounce Plato. Then? Yeah. Yeah. Republic. You see that? That's in social science. And social science really important after the World War. Because humans have problems. Yes, we have to study. See why we have problems, why we have to fight. You know, the social science comes. And from the Republic, that's about the what? The political science. And Plato said, if you want to rule the people, you don't need to have family. If you have family, when you have family, you will love your family more than the other families. That's not suitable to rule the people. See that? And when you have a child, you will love your child more than the other child in the country. So that's we call sage who come to rule the country have to be sage. S-A-G-E. That means no family. That means his family is the country. You see that? Like I talked yesterday. Why you marry with only one soul? That means you have very small family. But if you marry with the whole country, that means all people, that's your family. All children, that's your children. So you will love all children. Huh, Marx? You see that? That's the Republic of Plato. How you pronounce Plato or Plato? Huh? Plato. So that's different. But in Thai we call Plato. Plato or Plato? Or Plato. Because we don't know the root of the language. Plato is Greece, come from Greece. And Greece, you see again, Greece there are many wisdom of wise men. But Greece cannot rule their country. So Roman invades the Greeks. You see that? Roman very strong, come to conquer Greece. But Roman have to accept the knowledge from Greece. So Greece conquer Roman back by culture, by knowledge of Greece. So just back and forth like this. You know, when you study this, it's really, really exciting, really good stories. And so, from political science and then law, you have to make law. Law and then what? Economics, you see. Economics, what else? Psychologists, that means what? Public psychologists, what? Child psychologists, or so many psychologists. And then about what? Sociology. And what? Anthropology. So many TT, That's social science. And what is social science? Social science means you explain natural phenomena in terms of social science. That how humans live together, how humans rules, how humans think, how humans work together. That you explain the law of cause and effect in social science. See, that's the way. And the last group, what is it? The last group, humanities. Some university they put together social science and humanities put in one faculty. Like my university, they put together. But Chiang Mai University, they separate. The social science faculties, this humanities faculties. You know that. And what is humanities? This will come to the point. That you have to explain natural phenomena about human. What human do? Human. So the first thing that you explain about what? The language. You see that? The language and culture. And then religion. And then what? Philosophy. That's human. Different from animals. You know that? Animals don't have language. Like human, they have only instinct language. Like when they are hungry, they will cry. They will know that's the language of human, of animals. And human, we have that also. That I call what? The instinct language. You see that? But human, we create the language. In each group different. But in animals, they don't have that kind of language. And they don't have problem with that language. You see, they don't know about the language. In Bangkok, they have what? Dog competitive. Dog competitive. And when one dog got the prize, the winner prize, they put the what? The number at the neck of the dog. So I ask you, the dog very happy, oh, I got number 1. Or the owner of the dog very happy. So animals don't accept anything about the human language at all. And they cannot use, they don't have problem with the language. You know that? And the other dog, she cannot get any prize. And then when she go back to his house, to her house, she cannot sleep because she cannot get the prize. So that's the dog or the owner of the dog. You read? See, the dog doesn't know anything. Got the prize or not the prize? When to put the number 1 at his neck, he don't know what that means. You know that? And told my people at my monastery, all dogs in my monastery, at the night time, they sleep well. But the people at my monastery got only one telephone call. They cannot sleep 1 week. You understand? One telephone call. I don't know what the message from Chiang Mai. That they call from Chiang Mai, when they get the telephone call, and they cannot sleep. They worry about so many things from that call. But the dog in my place, they sleep every night. Do you understand that? You don't understand? You don't catch what I say? Are you ready? So, humans create language, and we have problem from language. The wise man, you can use everything, and you can prevent what? The danger from everything. You know that? Like electricity, you have to know how to use it, and you have to know how to protect from danger. The danger from electricity. Language also, you have to know the language, and you have to know how to use the language, and have to protect the danger from the language. Right? I think none of you can go away from the danger of the language, because the language can cause you feeling positive and negative. You see, one medical doctor got one call, and he jumped from the 3rd floor, hit to the 1st floor, and died. He just received only one call. I don't know what they are talking. You see that? If I talk in Thai, you don't know what I am talking, so meaningless for you. But when I talk in English, you can understand, and then you will feel it, feel positive and negative. You see that? Because we have egoism at the basic. So when you have egoism, you will have feeling positive or negative. And who feel positive? I. Who feel negative? I. You see? That's the problem. That's from ignorance. So the humanities from language to religion. Religion again. Religion for what? To explain the natural phenomena. The religion will go back to nature again. They try. But finally, because of the selfishness of women, because of ignorance, even the religion, they fight. Did you know about the crusade, a crusader? I have seen in Haifa, they have the museum of crusader in Haifa. And they fight not only one day, how many years? 100 years, 30 years, just 2 times. You know, crusader, there are many people die because of religion. That's human crazy. You have religion to solve your problem, but you use religion to create more problems. You know that. Oh, but you study and you will see, oh, human. That human still live with ignorance. You know. You see that? Because of ignorance. Okay. Now, come back to problems again. See that? So, problems, when you see that real problems, it composed of 4 items or 4 elements. If that real problems, number one, concern with you. Number 1, that's C, concern with you. When concern with you, and then number 2, you see the problem. If concern with you but you don't see the problem, like you have cancer but you don't know, you don't see it, that's not problem. You see that? But when you see the cancer in you, that's concern with you and you see the problem. You know that? Number 2. Number 3, You want to solve the problem. If you don't want to solve the problem, that's not the problem. Even you have cancer, but you don't care about it. You just live happily, okay, cancer. That's not the problem. You see that? Number 3. And number 4, if that real problem, you can solve your problem. If you cannot solve, that's not the problem at all. If the problem you can solve it. See that? If you cannot solve the problem, that's not the problem. Okay. Are you aware? I will show the example. Huh? If the real problem, all you can solve. Yeah. If real problem. But except you think that that's the problem, but not the problem, but from your thinking. Okay. Very easy to show the example. Smoking cigarettes. Okay. Now all over the world they know smoking cigarettes cause cancer and cause many diseases. You know that? Even some at the package, at the box of the cigarettes, they show lung cancer and so many pictures. But the smokers still smoke, laughing with that picture. They don't care. You know that? I don't know in America do they have that or not. But I heard in America that the people smoke less than before. Right, Mark? Before this, they really smoke. Both ladies and men smoke. Everybody in America. You know that. But now, they smoke less. When they smoke less, they have problem. They have problem with whom? With the factories who make the cigarettes. Like Marlboro. What else? Yeah. They have problem. Yeah, and that's the government. But the companies, they have problem also. They cannot sell in America. So American very clever. Mark. American very clever. So they send to Africa, to send to Thailand, to the underdeveloping countries. And you know, in cigarettes, the taste of cigarettes not come from nature only. They put the chemical in there. We call flavor agent. You know flavor? Flavor that you like it. Flavor agent. You smoke only one time and you cry for it. Mark, I say something wrong?
No.
Marlboro. You know that? And now they use what? The World Trade. You know World Trade? That you have to open for all countries. If you don't open, the World Trade will what? Punish you. So you have to open. When you open, and then all cigarettes from America they cannot sell in the country. They export to Thailand. You know that? So many things that Americans have done to Thailand. Ma, you are not American, you are my friend. Yeah.
I would like to know if you're making an ethical point. Are you judging the people or the structure behind this, or are you saying it's ignorance?
Yeah, ignorance also. Yeah.
So it's nobody's fault, or to my ears, it sounds like there's some blame or someone, or maybe I'm just trying to find somebody to blame.
Not to blame. No one to blame. But only one thing that I will say that That's what, because of the education. When you have more wisdom or more intellect, yeah, you will exploit the other. Yeah, that's normal. Not only American. This I showed you only the example. You understand that? Okay. And then again, what else?
You said if you can't solve the problem, it's not our problem.
Not all problems.
And then we started with smoker.
Yeah, the point. You see, that's what. Number one, that's smoking cigarette. And if you concerned with if you are the one who smokes cigarette, you say number one, you see smoking, that's the problem. The problem. When number two comes, number two is concerned with that you are the smoker. And when you have number two, if you don't have number three, that's not the real problem. Number three, what? You want to solve the problem. You don't want to smoke anymore. You want to quit. You see that? Number one, smoking is a problem of health. You see that? The people will see that smoking cigarette that can cause you have the bad health, cause the lung cancer. Number two, concerned with you because you are the one who smoke. If you don't smoke, that's not your problem. But maybe you have the second-hand smoking problems.
My neighbor was smoking all day and night, and it was my problem in the end because I had to smell it.
Yeah, that's what.
So his problem was my problem.
That's what. Because you are the second-hand smoking, right? Yeah, your problem again. come back to you. You don't smoke, but that concerned with you again. Concerned with you. Smoking cigarette. If if not concerned with you, that's no problem. Yeah. You can solve it.
No, I can't. That's what you said before. You said maybe I took you wrong. You said before you can use the way.
But you want to solve or not?
And you have the problem.
You want to solve the problem or not?
No, I'm not sure if I got you.
No, you get a good point.
If I can't solve the problem, it's not my problem. Well, did it make sense?
Yes, that's good.
Can you understand?
I can't solve the problem of my neighbor, so it's not my problem, but it is my problem.
You cannot see the problem. You cannot see my explanation. No. Okay. One, that you see the problem. Two, concerned with you. And three, you want to solve. And four, you can solve it. Why? Yeah, why?
I have to kill my neighbor.
Why do you have to kill your neighbor? You move to the other place.
I move.
Or move and then you still have problem. Yeah, did you solve the problem? To solve the problem is in many ways. Pardon?
Okay, let's put another example. Let's say the global warming. Global warming, I can't solve this problem, but what do I say? I move to Mars.
Can you? If you cannot solve that, not the real problem. It's problem but not the real problem. Because if you think there's a problem, you cannot solve all of your life. That's not the real problem. It's problem but problem of the world and everybody. You see? Not real problem, it's problem of the world. Not direct to you, you cannot solve. But you are the one in the world. If you started to solve the problem, that you are the one to help the world. And why you have to wait until all people solve the problem and you will be the last one to solve? You see, the world will survive because of human. We have to solve the problem. We have so many meetings about global warming. In what? In Brazil, in alright? De Janeiro, what?
Paris.
Yeah? Or in Paris, in Tokyo. Just talking, when they come back, they don't do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are right, Mark? They just talk and they don't do anything. They don't care. You see that? So we humans, when they think that's very far away from you, global warming is very far away from you. If you see the face to you, and everybody is trying to stop that, the world will come better than this. You know that? So this is the way. You try to take the problems away, that you cannot solve the problem. You can solve from you. If you solve, and then that means how much that you can do it. How much power that you have. Are you the president of the country? If you have the president of the country, you have more power. You can order the army, you see that? Maybe Trump can order the army from America to to North Korea. You see that? That's the power. How much power that you have. So you solve the problem that you have ability to solve.
So should ignore it?
Pardon?
Should I ignore it?
Ignore what?
Global warming, for example.
You do your duty. How much that you can do? Oh, it starts little by little. You know, the water that's from the tree, that they drip only one drop, the whole night. In the morning, you have the big jar. You know that? And I really impressed the people in Japan. When they eat food, they say, if you leave only one piece of bread or one rice on the plate, what happens? If Japanese have 200 million, that's how many pieces of bread, how many rice on the plate? You see, little by little is a lot. So please think from us, and we do in front of us, and then you will get the reward. That means you will be proud. Oh, I have done the good thing for the world. And then everybody do something like this. If you wait until the other does, and you will do afterward, and the world cannot survive. That's very far. Come back to your in front of the problem that you dealing with. Like you are not smoking, right? That's no problem for you. You never drink. You drink alcohol. You drink beer or whiskey or nothing, and no problem. You drink coffee. No coffee. You drink Coke? No Coke? That's no problem. Why you have to worry about the problem?
I don't worry about it.
Because you want to to play with the question or what? You want to play with the question that you question me? To play with the question. No, you don't ignore. I try to explain about 4 items that's composed to be the problem. If you lack only one, that's not real problem. It's problem, but not real problem. Like what? You smoke and concerned with you. Number 3, you see the problem, but you don't want to solve. That's not real problem. Even I try to explain to you, you will get lung cancer, but you don't believe. You know that medical doctor at my university, that he is the professor who is teaching the medical student. You know medical student? He smokes cigarette, they say, don't believe. I don't believe. That's not the problem of him at all. Yes?
So it's not whether or not you can solve the problem, it's whether or not you want to solve the problem.
If you don't want to solve, that's not the real problem. Yeah. But if that problem, but you don't want to solve it. Like I try to force you to stop smoking, but you don't want to stop. That's not real problem for you. You see that? It's problem, but not real problem for you. But I see that you have problem, but that's not your problem. Who problem? My problem. You see that? Because I force you, And you don't stop. I feel very bad. Why you don't stop? So not your problem anymore, my problem. You see that? 4 components of problems. Okay, you put down and you think what I have said, and then you will see it. You will use it or not, it's up to you. Don't believe me, but please don't refuse immediately to think carefully. Yes?
So if I see a problem, and I want to solve this problem, then it's a question of how much energy I really want to invest to solve it. For example, I say to her, if you really want to solve the problem, you move away. Or if I really want to solve this. So when I'm in Thailand, I always, how do you go, everywhere I saw the plastic. It's all over the world, plastic. So I always see the problem, and when I ask myself, how can I solve it, then I see a big, huge effort. So then I think, oh, it's too much, too big, so I can cut. You need it?
No.
But you can use less.
Yeah.
So I do what I can.
You can, yeah, right, you are right. You are right. Yeah, do your best, yeah. You are right. Yeah, you do that you can do. You do your best. You do the best, but that I said, choose the best choice and okay, no more. So, and after that you have to say what? Let it be. After you have done your, all effort that you have, and then you let it be.
Yes, but there are some subjects I could do something, but when I start, then I see my life would be changed completely. And then I think...
You have to make decision.
I have to make
decision. Yes.
I think, so
yeah.
Too much.
You want to sacrifice, your life for what? Or you want to save your life? You have to make decisions. Yeah. But if you sacrifice to the society, and the society will pay respect to you. You see that? So many people that they pass away, but they're still alive in the world. Their body passed away, but their work still live in the world. Like Gandhi, you know. When I mention Gandhi, that Gandhi is here. Gandhi never died. You know that. Why? Because Gandhi sacrificed his life for the society, for the people. Who can want the super power like England without weapon, free hand like Gandhi? You see that? He sacrificed his life. And then the conflict in India, that one young boy killed him. He never cried, and he asked for the God. God. And he passed away. That's the Gandhi. You study his life. I really love him. Gandhi, before that, he is a normal man like us. But after he forced to fight with the British, during he took a train from some place down to South Africa, and then the British put him out of the train, because the train first class only for British. But Gandhi, he said, I have a ticket. But even you have a ticket, you don't go by first class. So you see, that's amazing. And Gandhi got a master's degree in law from England. You know that? That Gandhi life very interesting. Before that he is normal man, like Hindu, very little Hindu, and after that he changed. After he practiced, he trained his mind. And in India, that Gandhi is a very high class, high caste, and he came down to clean up the toilet. That's in India, the people will not do that. The high class, to clean up the toilets, only the lower class. but can't he do everything? And he said, we are human, we are frame, we are equal. You can do everything for humans, for help the people. You see that? That's the Gandhi. So he never died. He's still here in the world. When we mention about Gandhi, and Gandhi said about the what? The sufficient economy also. That the people have to live in the village, not in the city. In the city that you have more complicated problems. But in the village that means you can help yourself. You see, you can plan, you can do, that means you can make everything fresh. Do you happy that you have to eat the food from the can? From the can. You see that? Eat the food that you can pick up from your garden. What happened? That's a fresh food. That's very good. Right? Or if you pick or you buy from the market and you keep in your refrigerator. If you keep in the refrigerator 1 week, what happened? That's the garbage. No more. No good anymore. You know that. You see, if you live in the what? In the village, you can grow everything around your house. If you live in the city, you can grow, but not so easy. You have to grow in the pot, you know, and you hang around your room. You see that? That's the way. Okay. So this is the problem. So 4 components. Number 1, what?
Concern.
Huh?
Concern.
Yeah, concern. Number 2, you see concern with you. Number 2, you see the problem. Number 3, you want to solve the problem. And number 4, if the real problem, you can solve it. Okay, you clarify by yourself. This is the way of the component of the problems. And again, I will review my equation. P equal C in the bracket E minus A. Remember? Yesterday you didn't hear about it. P problem, C concern, E expectation, A actual. If expectation and actual the same, no problem. So why I told you, don't live with expectation, but you can live with your goal. You have goal but no expectation. Goal that in your plan, but expectation that means you don't have now, but you cry for. So you don't have that happiness in the present. But you think tomorrow you will have the happiness, and tomorrow never comes.
But doesn't goal create expectation?
No.
Or attachment?
No. Goal, you know, goal that's by the law of cause and effect. When you plan, when you make the plan, you have to think about the cause and effect. Do you know about logical frame? You know? Log frame, you know log frame? That logical, you know logical, that means cause and effect. Logic, you know logic? So when you do the budget, they have logical frame, you know that? That's cause and effect. Why you buy this? What reason? You see, give the reason. You know that what the modern budget, they will do the logical frame, they call log frame. You know that? There's so many knowledge that I have been through. You know that? Okay? Come on. Now, I will come back to the 4 noble truths. Noble truth number 1 is suffering. Suffering. So that I mentioned about suffering. Suffering or problems. Problem inside and outside. And here, the problem that when they say about suffering, 3 kinds of suffering, you remember? Suffering, common suffering. I remind you. Common suffering. 2, nervous system suffering. And 3, attachment suffering. Remember? The 3 kinds of suffering. And the suffering from attachment, that means your mind. Your mind with ignorance. That means you have the feeling of positive and negative. And your mind not stable. Your mind not peace. Not in peace. your mind not peaceful. You see, when your mind not peaceful, when your mind tremble, your mind shaking, that you have problem, that you have suffering, that you create stress, both positive or negative. That your mind have something to disturb, your mind not free. You observe, you don't believe me, observe. Normally, all day, your mind free. But when you see something and you feel positive or negative, that your mind have some emotion or some mood to disturb your mind at that time. So in normal situation, all human, they are in peace. But when you get contact or you have contact and then you contact with ignorance, you have the feeling of positive and negative, that your mind not stable anymore. After positive or negative, you have craving. If positive, you cry for. If negative, you want to go away from it. You see that?
May I ask one question?
Yes, please.
All the time I wonder which subject did you teach at university?
Why you ask this?
Because I want to understand how you think. So you talk about a lot of different subjects.
Huh?
May I know what did you teach at university?
The truth. You're laughing.
Philosophy?
No, the truth. The truth of life and truth of nature. Any time when I take the subject, I will change the interpret. I will make my decode. I teach what? Community economics. You see that? So I change the decode. In economics, you know what is Adam Smith said? You know Adam Smith? Do you know her? Adam Smith? Yeah. What did he say?
The universe is good.
Huh? What? He said, natural resources. What? What he said? Huh?
Basis of economics.
Yeah.
Like the choices people make when faced with
Not the choice. It's talking about the natural resources. About he said, natural resources is limited. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, limited. And then he said, when natural resources limited, so the economists have to manage that natural resources to satisfy the needs of the people. You see that? That's the way that Adam Smith explained. And what happened to the natural resources? Because you want to manage the natural resources, that the limit, they have limit to satisfy the needs of the people. What happened to the natural resources? Now, you are destroying the world because what? The needs or the satisfy or the desire of the people never end. How much that you need, that you have enough. You see that? So, Gandhi said, natural resources have enough for all humans, but not enough for the greed of one man. Understand that? Greed. E-R-E-D. E-D. Okay? Natural resources enough for all humans, but not enough for one man. Greed. Do you see that? And here, when I teach economics, because you asked the question, when I teach economics, I will change. Natural resources is limited. So, the economists have to manage the need of the human, have to limit the need of the human to use the natural resources. You see that you can help the world. Why? I say that I teach what? The truth of life and truth of nature. You see that? So all economic, well, we will go to the truth of life. If you just follow what? Some ideas of the people who has been write the book before. You don't believe. I don't believe anyone. I don't believe what Abraham Maslow. I don't believe Adam Smith. You see that? But I take his teaching. I take his idea to teach my students and what criticize. Let my students see. You see, if you teach in this way, what happens to the world? You see that? This is the way to help the world. You understand, Yuri? Okay. Time is over. So, suffering. You have to know the suffering. So many people, they have suffered, but they don't know that they have suffering. They compare like the fish live in the water, but the fish never see the water. You stay with suffering, but you don't know that you have suffering. Why? Because the fish were born in the water, live in the water, and fish die in the water, so the fish never know that he is in the water. You see that? If you want the fish to see the water, you have to take the fish out of the water. And the fish will see, oh, that's water. That's the land. You see that? So you have to take the people out of suffering. And they will see, oh, that's suffering. If you were born with suffering, live in suffering, and die with suffering, you never know that you are in the suffering.
But with television, they see.
Yes?
But with television, they see that other people, they live different.
I don't know if you understand.
If people are living and they are, we say they are suffering, but they don't know that they are suffering. But when they see other people, how they live, that they have so much food, then they know that they are suffering.
I don't explain in that. That means you are with suffering, but you don't see suffering. You see that? So, you have to get out of suffering and you will see the suffering. If you are in the jungle, you never see the jungle. You have to get out of the jungle and you will see, oh, that's the jungle. But when you are in the jungle, you don't see, because all trees are all what? On plants in the jungle. You never see the jungle. You are in the world, you cannot see the world. You have to get out of the world. So, who see the world? Huh? John Glenn. You know John Glenn see the world. You don't see the world. You see the world like this? That's not the world. You see the world is flat. But John Glenn go up and then you see the world is round, you know. You see that? Because you get out of the world, you will see the world. So you have to get out of the suffering and you will see the suffering. How to get out? You have to stop positive and negative. And you observe. When your mind is peaceful, nothing disturbed, that means you don't have any suffering. You observe that. And when your mind shaking, your mind disturbed with your emotion, your mood, and then you will see. You observe from both sides and you will see. You will see, oh, this suffering, it is not suffering. Like turtles, you know, turtles live in two worlds. In the water and on the land. And the turtle come up to the land to see waterfall, to see the forest, to see the mountain, and then turtle come back to the water to tell the fish. The fish say, oh, you are crazy. The fish say, like I come to tell you, and you will say, oh, this monk is crazy. See that? Because I see two worlds. Both suffering and our suffering. I see. They explain to, like turtle come to explain to the fish. So, that's not the way. I have to carry you out of the fish, out of the water. And you will see, oh, this is the land, this is the water. And then you will know by yourself. Okay, I cannot tell. If I tell you, you don't believe me. Right? You have to see by yourself. That's the suffering. You see in the mind. You don't see from the brain. You don't believe your eyes. You believe the ignorance very long time. I try to explain all things change, but you still see what? Self, you still attached with yourself, and you will not go from self if you don't train your mind until your mind see, and your mind will free from self. You see, you have to sell yourself. I cannot do for you. Okay, number one. So, about suffering, you have to answer 3 questions. 3 questions. Number 1, what is it? Number 2, how to do with it? Number 3, have you done it? Have you done it? 3 questions. If you answer all, that means you can go through. You have to know, number 1, what is suffering? And then, how to do with the suffering. When your mind not peaceful, that means you get angry, you have mood, you're feeling bad, you're feeling good, or positive or negative. How to do with it? You have to observe and realize it. Observe and realize it. You see that? You have to see by yourself. That's to do with it. And when that suffering go away, you observe it again. You can see by yourself. And then you have to say the last one, I have seen it. Or I have done it. So the last question. Okay? Go by. Number 2. The cause of suffering. Noble. Number 2. The cause of suffering. What is the cause of suffering? I talked many times. The real cause of suffering is ignorance. Ignorance. But here Buddha said about desire. Desire. But desire from ignorance. Desire or craving. C-R-E-V-I-N-G. Craving. How do you pronounce? Craving or craving? Craving. Craving. Yes. Yeah. That's the cause of suffering. And craving, it has 3 kinds of craving. Three types. Number 1, craving of materials, of 5 sensual desire. Number 1. And then 2, craving of want to be. You want to be. Like you want to be a prime minister. You want to be a rich man. That's craving also. And number 3, you don't want to be. You know that? You don't want to be an old man. You want to be a wife of this man. You don't want to be a mother of this son. You see that? You don't want to be, but you have been already. You cannot go away. So you have suffering. You don't want to be here in the center, but you are here. That's the craving, because you are here. You have suffering. That's the cause of suffering. And how to do with it? I will say very briefly. How to do with it? The cause of suffering. Lord Buddha said, you have to withdraw. To stop it, withdraw. Like you withdraw the bridge. When you make the bridge across to the other bank. You withdraw the bridge. You don't go to the craving. You just stop it. Withdraw. That's the way. So, if no craving, no suffering. If you have more craving, you have more suffering. You believe me. You observe it. And the last one. Have you done it? So I say, if you practice true, you will say, I have done it. Finish. The last, the third one, the third noble truth, we call the quenching. You know quenching? Mark, you know quenching? Quenching, Q-U-N?
Quenching.
Yeah, quenching, Q-U-N-C-H-I-N-G. Yeah, quenching. Like you make the fire and that fire will come down. That fire is quenching. Calm down.
Putting on the fire.
Yeah. Quenching. That's we call the end of suffering. They call in Bali, they call Nirotha. Nirotha, that means the end of suffering. All suffering, when you have suffering, if you don't do anything, the suffering will end. By nature. Because law of nature, everything is changing. The problem will not stable, it's changing. If you don't do anything, that suffering will end. You know that? Because that law of change. You don't do anything, but you don't do positive or negative, and then that suffering ends. So why people say when you have a broken heart and then you say the time will help me, because that will come down. You have been through the broken heart problem?
But if you have toothache, if you not to solve this problem, it will be better, worse. And suffering will not reduce but rise.
Oh really? Coming up? Problem? So, when the problems calm down, that's quenching. That's finished. It's two ways. That's problems, what? Calm down or end with wisdom. That means that problem will not come anymore. But if you let it end with by nature, you don't do anything, that you will what? Build the habits of suffering. You will have that suffering again. Will come again and again and again. But if you end with your wisdom, and then that's the end. The suffering will not come anymore. It has two kinds of end of the suffering. And the second question, how to do with it? When the problem ends, when the suffering ends, how to do with it? The Buddha said, observe and realize. When the problem ends, oh, you feel free. Like nirvana. When the problem ends, that's nirvana, the same word. Nirotha and nirvana, the same word. That means you are free. No suffering, nothing to disturb your mind. You will observe it. Oh, I love this, I want to have this. And then next time you will what? Try to protect. When you have contact with environment, you will not contact with ignorance. You see that? Because you have seen. That's very, very great. It's wonderful. You see that. You have seen by yourself. So, that means you have to observe and realize. And the last one, the last question, you have to say, I have done it. Okay. The last noble truth that we call what? The way how to get out of suffering. The way how to get out of suffering. What's that? That's 8-fold path. 8-fold path. 8-fold path. That means 8 components. You walk on the middle road with the 8 components. The first one, the most important, that's the right view. The right view, you have to see the right things. Right? You have to see suffering is suffering. You don't see what? Suffering is happiness. That's the wrong view. Like you go to what? Full moon party. You say, oh, this, the way of happiness. That means you, what? Have the wrong view. That's not the happiness. That's the pleasant or the pleasure that you enjoy. That's the thing from outside to stimulate your nervous system. You see that? You need from outside and you get tired. You boom, 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 boom the whole night, you know. It seems that you are in the heaven. But in the morning, all of you go to hell. You see that? That's not, that's the wrong view. So the real happiness is the peaceful mind. There's nothing to disturb your mind. You see that? You can do anywhere in the world, even now, especially here and now. You can see the real happiness. That's from the peaceful mind. Why you come here, you want to get that. See that? And what else? That's the right view. The second one is the right thought. Right view and right thought. Right thinking. I will not explain more because I don't have much time. The third one is right speech. Right speech, when you talk right. That means you will not create any problems. If you talk and create problems, that's not the right speech. The right speech, you have to say the truth, and that truth will useful for the people. Even you say the truth, but that truth, the people cannot get the benefit. That's not the right speech. Even that truth, but the people cannot get the benefit from it. So when you say the truth, so I know many things, but something I cannot say to you. Because when I say to you, you don't understand. That means that's not the right speech. See that? The third one, the fourth is what? The right conduct. Right conduct. Conduct, that means like we talk about precepts. You see that? Right conduct. No killing, no telling lies, no what? No stealing. That's the right conduct. You understand that? That's the eightfold path. Number 4. Conduct. C-O-N-D-U-C-K. Right conduct. You understand? Number 5, what? Number 5, right effort. No, right livelihood. Right livelihood first. Right livelihood. That means you do the right career, the right profession, the right job. You know, the job that Lord Buddha said, that you go away from that kind of job. Number 1, armament, like Americans do now, to sell the weapon. Number 2, to sell the drug or the poison things. You have to go away from that kind of job. Number 3, to sell the human. You see that? That kind of job. That's not livelihood. You have to go away from that kind of job. See that? And the 6th is right effort. Right effort. In right effort, it has four effort. Number 1, you have effort to do good things. So I ask the people to do good things and to do bad things. Which one is very easy? To do bad or to do good easier? To do good or to do bad easier? Can you tell me? To do good thing or to do bad thing easier? How about you?
I'm a killer. It's easier for me to kill someone.
Oh, you're easy to kill.
If I'm a killer.
Oh no! You think about yourself. You don't think very far. Are you killer? No, you are not killer. I ask you, you have to answer from yourself. Yeah? Yeah? If you say good things easier, that means you are a good person. If you say bad thing easier, that means you are a bad person. Because bad person do bad thing very often, and he have the skill to do bad. You know that? You understand? If you say good thing easier than bad thing, because the good people will do good thing very easy because they do every day. Huh? Bruno, you understand what I say? If you do bad thing every day, then bad thing very easy for you. That's you have the skill to do bad thing. Like you smoke every day, so smoking very easy for you. How about at the beginning of smoking? It's very hard because before that you are good people. You want to be bad, you have to effort very hard to do something bad. After you have the skill to do bad thing, and then you can smoke very well. Huh? You understand that? So, if you say to do good thing, very easy, that you are good people. Okay? Okay. The effort number 2, that you effort to what? To go away from bad thing. Effort to do good, and then effort to go away from bad. Number 3, effort. You have to develop the good thing that you effort to develop. You do it more. And number 4, that you have to protect the good thing. Don't let the good thing go back to bad things. That's the effort, right effort. You see, that's the mind problem, not that's the mind function about the effort. The first 2, right view and right thought, that's what? The group of wisdom, the group of intellectual. And right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, that's the group of precepts. Precepts, that's what we call in Pali, we call sila. The first group, right view and right thought, that we call panya. You know panya or wisdom? That's the first group. About view and thought, that's the wisdom. From speech, conduct and livelihood, that's the group of sila, that's we call precepts. And then from right effort, that's the group of the mind. The mind. Right effort. And then the 7, the right mindfulness. The right mindfulness. Even mindfulness can be wrong mindfulness also. You know wrong mindfulness? When you play cards, you know, you have mindfulness. You just concentrate and you know that you are playing cards. That's wrong mindfulness. Because you have to get the prize or you will lose the prize. So that's wrong mindfulness. Okay. What else? The last one, the 8th one. A right, what? Right concentration. Right concentration or right meditation. Right concentration. So 8. When you practice on this 8, that you have to practice. The first question, what is it? That's 8.8. The second question, how to do with it? You have to work on it. You have to practice until that thing have in your life. You have right thought, you have right speech, you have right conduct. You see that? You have right effort in your way of life. And then the last question, have you done it? You have to tell yourself, I have done it. That means you are free because you use that pad, 8 phone pad. And when you work out on 8 phone pads, you will have 2 results or 2 effects come from that. Number 9. You see, from 8 you have 9 and 10. Number 9, you have the right knowledge. Or we say that you have the right jhana. Jhana, that means you have what? The right wisdom from your mind. Your mind can see. The right jhana. And the last one, you will get the right freedom. So, 10 rights. Right view, right thoughts, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, and right jhana, right wisdom, and then right freedom. That's 10. 8 phone pads is a cause, and 2 is the effect. That you are free. That means no more problem. This is the end of the noble truth. So 3 multiplied by 4, that's 12. Each noble, you have to answer the question, 3 questions, and we have 4 noble truths. 3 multiplied by 4, that's 12. 12. You can see when they draw what? The lotus, and you will count what? The lotus about 12. You see that? That's the symbol. You understand that? That's the 4 noble truths. 3 questions and 4 noble truths. 3 multiplied by 4, 12. Okay? This is the end of noble truths. Okay? I will end with this. Taos. Some people listen to Taos. You know Taos? Taoism. Taoism, that means nature. Taos, if you point to the ground, that's Taos. If you point up to the sky, it's Taos. So everywhere is Taos. You see that? And when the people listen to the Taos, some people, they think, oh, that people crazy because you are talking about Tao. And the second one said, oh, that Tao is very good. Just only feeling good. The last one, when they listen to the Tao, they follow to the Tao and they become Taos. That's the end. Thank you for listening. I try my best. Right mindfulness?
Yes.
Yeah?
Can you explain more what is right mindfulness?
Right mindfulness? I don't have much time. I will recommend the book that you can read. The book number 1 that you should read, Handbook for Mankind. Handbook for Mankind. This book translated by British man, because that British, he lived in Thailand about 30 years. He can read Thai language. He understands English because English is his mother tongue, and he understands Thai. He can translate from the book. He reads Thai books from a Handbook for Mankind in Thai book. That's Buddhadasa lecture, and after he read, he got the benefit from that book, and he said, oh, this book really valuable. So he would like the people who use English as a spoken language. So he want to help the people who speak English to understand it. So he take his effort, translate into English. He came to my place and he told me, and he said, I want to pay gratitude to the Buddha Dasa that he gave this book, that he got the benefit from that book, and his life changed from that book. Handbook for Mankind. Handbook for Mankind. Buddha Dasa. Buddha Dasa. Because of this book, a friend of mine, he is American Peace Corps volunteer. He read this book and he really respect Buddha Dasa, and he bring me to this monastery. I never go to the monastery because before this I believe Omakayam. You know Omakayam? Omakayam said, eat, drink and be merry. Maybe tomorrow you will die. You understand that? So eat, drink and be merry. Maybe tomorrow you will die. So I drink every day. I sing a song in the market. I'm really happy. But after you get drunk and then you have what? Hangover. And then I will ask myself, oh, happiness going like this. When you're happy and then you have suffer. So you have to go both. Positive and negative. You cannot go away like this. You see, when you're happy, that means positive. And then when you feel bad, that means you go to negative. So our life is going positive and negative like this. And he said, oh, life is going like this. And then after my friend bring me to this monastery, and we make what? Around the world trip together. After I came back from around the world trip, and then he said, my friend told me, you should go to this monastery and you make a mango and you sit and you think about life. What is life? What is life need? What do you want? Why you born? Why you born? You born for what? Who are you? So many questions. So I go to the monastery and stay there 4 months. That changed my life. You see, from that I will use my simple life. I don't go to drink every day. Before that, I celebrate my life every day. Thursday, like my birthday, every week. So I drink and get drunk on Thursday. On Wednesday, what is Wednesday? Wednesday is hump day, so celebrate. You know hump day? Hump at the middle. Hump day, so I celebrate. What happened to the Friday? Friday is TGIF. You know Mark, TGIF? What is TGIF?
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday, so celebrate. How about Saturday and Sunday? Saturday and Sunday is holiday, so celebrate. So only Monday and Tuesday that recovering day. Only 2 days. So I enjoy my life. I have so many girlfriends because I love to go around with the girls. You know that? That by nature. That's what? Sigmund Freud said that everything's from sex, right? So I believe Sigmund Freud. I have eight girlfriends in the same time. How you can manage? It's very hard. You know that?
Why did you leave the monastery after 4 months?
Oh, because I have to go back to teach in university. To teach. If I don't, and because I talk to the abbot. Do I have to go back or I can stay? I would like to stay continuously. And he said you should go back. Because to practice Dharma, you can practice in any type of life. So I go back. And I work there and I can continue my study. I got PhD. I have made the paper. I got the rank in academics. That means I gain my knowledge more in university, and I do my research. I got the prize. I got the best research, and then I can present my research many countries in the world. You see, because I have done so many things. And then when I retire, and then they said, "Oh, this is about the time I should come out," because I know what is the life what I need. And how about you? What do you want? What your life needs? You see? And now I'm ready. Die now or die tonight, it's okay. Because you cannot go away from the death. So you are ready to die.
When you married, you was about your wife and you have children?
No. None. No children. My wife passed away because she had lung cancer. 3 years that I have to take care of her in the hospital. Very hard work. Lung cancer. Just sick. So I have nothing now. I have only 3 pieces of clothes. I have a bowl. And now I have this mobile house. And then I can go anywhere in the world. If I go to New York, I have to change my robe. Because the weather is changed. Is cooler than here. Right? If I go to Canada, I have to buy new robes. Okay? You have any question? Tomorrow I have to leave after morning talks about meditation instruction. Then I will leave here. In the afternoon, no. Yeah?
Recording today?
My friend is doing YouTube. The first one that when I arrived, that's finished. If you have Line, L-I-N-E. If you have Line, I can send to you. The first talk, that's almost 105 minutes. 105 minutes that I talk with you at the dining hall. Remember what did I say with you? If you don't remember, you can go and listen again.
Problem solving.
Very good. So, don't believe me, don't refuse my talk, but listen carefully, listen respectively, and then you will get the benefit from all my talk. Because my talk, I finish my duty. Your duty is to get the benefit from that thing. Okay? You are my good friends, and good friends forever. Do you know when you feel that you are my good friend? How do you feel? Likewise, when I reach Tokyo, my good friend come to pick me up at the airport. Oh, you come. And then he take me to what? Sushi, you know sushi? Yeah, sushi. And sushi in Japan, not like in Thailand in those days. Sushi, that's the living fish. The living fish in what? Yeah, in the face. You just point, okay, this one. When you point this one, and then they use the net. And then they put the living fish, and they put on the wooden stock, and then they use a knife to take the meat of the fish. And they turn over, and then again, and they take the meat. Very sweet. But what happened? The fish still alive. And the fish in my dish. Oh. In Tokyo. You see? Because you have good friends. Your good friends will bring you to have the best thing in Tokyo. And they call me Maruta-san. 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 Because my name is Marut. And they call Maruta-san. You see? He is Japanese. He worked very hard. He studied in USA. And his name is Shiro and Masato. My name is Marut. and his name is Masato, very close. You see, and good friend from Germany now, he came to see me. I heard maybe he go to my monastery. It's about almost 50 years that they have been a friend, good friend, very long time. That I tell you about the story that I visit him in South Bavaria, in Bavaria. That I met his mother and he is out of town, and I have to open dictionary and have to talk with his mother about 2 days before he come back. So I have to use dictionary for my translator. So I know Danka Chen, Danka Muti. You know Danka Chen? So it's good work for me. I remember for life.
And where is your monastery? In which time?
At that time I was a layman. At that time I was a layman like you.
Now, you say your monastery. In which monastery?
When?
Do you live now?
Now in Suratthani, but on the mainland. From the big city, about 50 kilometers up north on the way to Bangkok. You know Son Mok? Son Mok. You can find from the internet. You just say Son Mok and then it will come. The Son Mok really well known of the world now. Because I think about 50 universities in US, they use the teaching of Buddhadasa to teach the students in university. You know that? Because he proved the teaching of Buddha is a science. It's a science. Not the thing that you cannot prove, that's not the teaching of Buddha. About reincarnation, you have to think, if you can prove, okay, that's the teaching of Buddha. If you cannot prove, that's not the teaching of Buddha. And when the people write about Buddhism, there are many people. They write by their views, they write by their understanding. But you have to prove, if you can prove by the scientific way, that's the teaching of Buddha. If I cannot prove, I don't believe. You know that? Yes?
So in the last years, so in Germany, Buddhism, the science of Buddhism is spread over. Many people talk about it, read and think. Do you know how many people in the world are talking and reading and learning about Buddhism?
It's coming up. It's coming up. Because only one religion that can confront with the science. The other religion cannot confront with the science.
Do you think there's a chance that it's really getting spread over?
Yeah, I believe.
Do you believe that if more and more people, especially young people,
Yeah.
they study
Yeah.
Buddhism,
Yeah.
that they can change the world?
Yeah, I believe that. Because when you get in touch with the Buddhism, the real Buddhism, and you will know, it's the great. I never find the knowledge like this in the world, because I have been reading a lot of books, a lot of writers, but the truth from Buddha is amazing.
So when you are here, you want to teach young people to spread over this idea over the world?
Every day. I work very hard. I work, my workload, is much more than when I was in university. And at that time I still young and strong, and now I'm very weak, but a lot of work. If my friend knows that I work very hard all the time. And now so many people waiting for me. They invite me to talk at the hotel. I have to talk at the shopping center. So I go everywhere.
This is what I meant when I said I see a problem and I have an idea how to solve it. But when I start, I don't know how much work I will get. So now you have the problem that you have a lot of work to do.
Not real problem. if I don't want to work, I can stop because there's no one can force me. I make my decision because I think I will live not very long. I can extend it or expand my life not more than 10 years. Now 72. And my father passed away at 81. 81. So not more than 10 years that I can stay in the world. You know that? So you are a group who have a chance to meet me here. Maybe the other group they don't have a chance. And if you can get the benefit, you will think that very lucky that we have a chance to meet each other. But if you cannot get benefit from my talk or from my teaching, you will say, oh, very bad luck that I have a chance to meet that monk. Do you know? But up to you. I have done my good work. And you know, Ego. Ego held the center to do yoga mindful. You know, if without you I have to work everything and maybe I cannot go back. Too much work. I should have at least 5 people to work with me. You know that? But I have no choice. I try very hard. I asked Tukata, do I have to come? He said, maybe you have to come. Maybe, you see. I may think, oh, if I don't come, what happened to you? As I tell you about what? In January or in December, about 14 people, they are here. When I am here, they stay with me, and they said, I cannot stay here anymore, because I have problem with my hernia. I have to go back. When I go back, all people go out of the center, and they request to get the money back. You know, the money that they pay, they request to get back. So Tukata gives the money back. You see that the center have problem. So, if I can work, I can come. I will come. You see, even I came out of the hospital, this time also, that I told you that night. I just came out from the hospital because of my diarrhea. And it's not so stable. That means my intestine and my colon still work not properly. Yeah, properly. Yeah. Like you have problem with your intestine and your brain. So I'm sorry I don't have time to see you, but I ask the people that you're getting better. Okay, Yuri, my good friend. And how about the other girls that she came back? No?
Yeah, I saw her in that.
Okay, huh? She's,
I didn't talk to her, but I saw her.
it seems that she's getting better? Or we don't know. Getting better, huh? There's 2 ways, getting better or getting worse. If getting worse, that means we have to prepare what? Prepare the tomb. You see, the way of life to go this way or go this way. Okay? Now your time free to walk. Your walking meditation time now is 4:15. 4:15. So that means your walking meditation is over. So you find a place to do your sitting meditation. You are free to do. Tomorrow I will do the best thing for you as much as I can. I will share all my experience, my knowledge that I have. Why you ask me what subject? Because I know all subjects in the world. I read it all. And you know, all subjects are only one subject, in fact. Like I told you about, when you see the tree, you have to see from what? The trunk of the tree. And then you will see the branch. Great. So the truth is one, come from the tree, one tree. You see that? You understand that? So all subjects come from one tree. Why I mentioned about 3 groups of subjects in Oxford and Cambridge. Huh? You are very lucky. You don't take the exam to get in university, but you learn from me here. Okay, Anjali.